guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys my makeup routine when I have big rosacea flare-ups. So this is what I like to do when I want to wear a little bit more than no makeup at all when I do have my flare-ups, and how I kind of finagle and do some little tips and tricks to kind of giving you more of like a nice finish on the skin without doing the most or without doing the least. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video, and if you want to continue watching and learn more about how I created this look, then please go ahead and do so. So we're going to be using some products that I really like to use when I do have these flare-ups, and how I can still kind of work around it and still make myself look pretty. And I really quickly want to address the last video that I uploaded. I just want to let you guys know how thankful I am. I was reading all the comments, the good and the bad, and you guys are great. You guys are truly some beautiful human beings, and I have to say that I'm not one of the most open people about my life. Like, I'm not gonna sit and talk about my entire life story because I've learned a lot through the years about, you know, opening up, and I've learned to be a little bit more reserved. But I feel like there's times where it's good to open up and it's good to share your feelings, because you never know who's going through the same thing, and you never know who you can help out or who can help you out. And you guys have just been so beautiful in the comment section, and I really cannot thank you guys enough. Your support means the world to me, and I have some amazing friends online. So the first thing I want to mention is my Grape Water by Caudalie. This one is something that I mentioned in my rosacea video, and I want to mention it again because I honestly wear this all the time, especially when I have these flare-ups, because I feel like it really gives my skin that really good soothing feeling. It just makes it feel so nice and hydrated almost, especially when you have a lot of dryness on that texture. And you guys know that I have really oily skin, so for me to have this dryness, it's kind of foreign, and it's also kind of scary because dryness is not a joke, man. Like, just having like your skin peel off all the time, that's not pretty. And also, before we get into the video, I just want to address why my hair may look a little bluish purple on the sides, and that's because I use the purple shampoo. If you guys know what the purple shampoo is, you guys know that it like is a purple, literally purple dye shampoo that tones your hair. So if it starts to become yellow, it kind of puts that color that you had in originally back into it. So that's why it's starting to look a little bit more white grayish, which is the color I originally had, but I left it on in these spots a little too much. So that's why those spots look a little weird. So in case you guys are wondering. And what I've been using whenever I don't wear makeup and I'm just kind of, you know, carrying on the day without a makeup product is this Rosacea moisturizing cream. It's really good because it kind of fights that dryness, and it definitely gives the skin a little bit of moisture when you have really dry cheeks because of rosacea. So I've been applying this as much as I can throughout the day, probably like every 3 to 4 hours, just on the cheek area, and I kind of leave it almost like you're masking, and then it like literally absorbs it so fast because the skin's so dry that it's like, yes, I needed this. And then it's back to the dryness, but the dryness feels so much better than it did when I first woke up because I have something there. But what I do like to use when I am wearing makeup is the BYE BYE Redness by Cosmetics. It's a really good moisturizer. It kind of has a little bit of green tint to it, as you can see there. And actually, it's really cool because Cosmetics did watch one of my videos. I think it was my BYE BYE foundation review, and they reached out to me and sent me another one of these that was a little bit closer to the color that I wanted to be. And they sent me a few other goodies, and it was really, really cool because I'm like a huge fan of Cosmetics for a while now. So for them to reach out and send me some goodies was like, oh my god. So I have been using this, and it really feels good on the skin. Now I have to say, if you have some intense redness like this, it's not gonna make it go away completely by any means, but I feel like it makes my skin feel really good. And it's a really nice consistency where it's not like too creamy, but it's more like a gel-like consistency. But what I like to do is really go in with a little bit of product and really distribute it as much as possible. And it's been helping a lot. Just, it helps it feel so nice and smooth and hydrated, which is what you really need when your cheeks are extremely dry. So once I put it on, I like to just tap it and just kind of use my fingers to really refresh it. So we're gonna leave the cheeks be for a little bit. We are gonna put a little bit of tinted moisturizer on there, but for now I wanna focus on my under eyes. So if you guys know that I am a fan of this Tatcha, the Pearl. It's kind of like a tinted eye cream. It's not supposed to be a concealer by any means. It's supposed to be like just a little tint that can kind of give a little bit of evenness to your under eye. So when I do have a lot of flare-ups, I don't like to do anything too intense. So that's when this product really comes in handy by Tatcha, because I feel like I can still get a little bit of that color correcting on the under eye without having to apply too much product. So right now, when I first apply it, I like to use my finger, because your finger is always your best friend, especially when you're not really worried about making it look perfect, but you just want to apply that product in there. Your finger can really get the job done and make it look nice. And also, you always want to use your ring finger, because that's the finger that has the least amount of pressure. On your under eye area, you want to be very gentle, because that layer right underneath your eye is the thinnest one on your entire face. So you really don't want to add too much pressure, especially if you have sensitive skin like I do. You just kind of want to make sure that when you tap it in, you're very careful. And then I'm going to take, where's my sponge? Oh, then I'm going to take my Morphe sponge and really give it a go. And it does a really good job of brightening. So I like to go around all that eye area once I go in with my sponge to kind of get any leftover product and put it to good use, because sometimes you can be a little heavy-handed and end up using a little too much of the product. So that's why I kind of like to go back in and just kind of cover it. It's a little dry right here, but there's not much you can do when you have flare-ups, because it's just gonna be dry. So you just kind of have to like look at the positive instead of looking at the negative. And that's something that I really strongly believe in. And all I can say is that you need to constantly tell yourself positive words, and you need to constantly affirm and have positive affirmations. And I feel like the more you stay positive, the better things will get. And I know it's hard, especially when it's something that you're dealing with or something that's on your skin, and you know, your skin is the first thing people see. I'm using my Benefit Precise in my brow, BTW. I'm just gonna fill in my brows very lightly. My brows actually have been very full lately, which I am super excited about. This is the fullest they've been. So now we're going to be using the It Cosmetics BYE BYE foundation. So I'm going to be using the Farsali Gold Elixir. And actually the reason I got this last year was because one of my good friends recommended it to me. She was like, honestly, I know you have like your rosacea issue, and this is something that will help you, especially with those dry patches. So that's why I purchased it. And we're just gonna kind of dab it. You don't want to be so intense with it. You just kind of want to dab. And I'm just applying that oil on my cheeks. I don't need to apply it on my T-zone area because that's not where I have the issue. So I'm not gonna apply it there. Just wanna apply it on the cheek. Oh my gosh, I feel like my cheeks just revived. That made a big difference. See, when you have rosacea, especially if you have like those intense, what's it called? Those intense dry patches, you really need to put a lot of moisturizer and oils and really constantly through the day soothe it. When I first started getting these dry patches, I originally didn't want to put anything. Like I just wanted to leave my skin alone because everything hurt. But the best thing you can do is constantly moisturize it with products that work for you, which is why I like to use this rosacea moisturizing cream. You can find this at CVS. Like, it's not expensive. I mean, it's kind of expensive for CVS, like $17, but it's not expensive for like, you know, Sephora or Ulta. More moisturizing products to apply on your skin when you do have these like dry patches, the better, because it kind of helps the skin like, okay, I'm getting that moisture. You can see how fast this one soaked up. But I do have to say, it soaked it up fast, but you can still see that radiance as opposed to before. I feel like you really couldn't see the radiance. So what we're gonna do now is we're going to apply the It Cosmetics BYE BYE Tinted Moisturizer in the shade Tan. So we're just gonna apply that. And I'm not gonna promise you guys that it's not gonna have some dryness, because you guys know that when you have the dry patches and the dry skin, you know, it's gonna look a little bit dry. But the reason I do like to use this is because it definitely fixes that redness. It definitely minimizes the redness by a lot, as you can see, without doing the most. Now up here it's gonna look great because I am not dealing with any dryness up here. So up here it's gonna go on fantastic. But if I want to cover up the redness a little bit without me using products that are gonna harm it or make it feel worse, a Cosmetics Tinted Moisturizer is what I go to. I feel like in a way it's guarding the skin from those environmental pollutants. And I really do trust a Cosmetics. Their ingredients, they actually work with plastic surgeons to develop really good products with really good ingredients. And it's really cool that they make products for people that have skin concerns. Like they have a Bye Bye Pores collection, they have the Bye Bye Redness, Bye Bye Foundation. They make products friendly for people that don't necessarily feel the most comfortable wearing a lot of makeup, intense makeup, but still want that everyday good cover makeup. So I applaud them for that. Oh my God, this is like the oiliest my cheek has looked in days, and it's giving me life. Normally it wouldn't, because I do not like oils because I'm oily, but because they've been so dry, it just feels amazing. Brace yourselves, people. Okay, so now we're gonna do the other side. And you see, I don't really use that much product, because when you have these little issues going on, the last thing you want to do is pack too much. You kind of just want to get a little, just kind of want to dip your feet in the water without going all the way in. Oh, and another tip is that if you do have these rosacea flare-ups and you have like a lot of dryness, use a damp sponge. Do not use a brush. I've noticed that whenever I use a brush, it's like you can see the product laying on top so heavily. And the reason I didn't go ahead and use the Lancome one today was because this one has 23 SPF. The Bye Bye Foundation by A Cosmetics has 50 plus. And it has the UVA and the UVB. So it's broad spectrum physical sunscreen, which is what I need, as opposed to the 23. It's not enough, especially during 90-degree weather. And this Rosacea oil, I'm looking dewy, but I do not mind it because it's been a minute since I've seen my cheeks shine like this, so I'm feeling good. Okay, so now what we are gonna do is wipe our hand because we have a little too much oil on there. So what do I wanna do now? I'm not gonna apply blush because I've seen my cheeks be so bright that I just don't wanna mess with it. And I honestly don't want to do any type of powder highlight. So like I mentioned, when I have like my rosacea so on fleek and it's so intense, I don't like to put a lot of powder stuff on there because it's just gonna mess with it. So I don't wanna wear powder highlight, but I do wanna put on a little bit of a glow, you know what I mean? I feel like we all need our glow, especially in the summer. So I'm gonna be using my MAC Fix Plus in Gold Light. And it gives you like a really pretty glow. Same thing. We're gonna be using my KKW sticks, and we're just gonna be doing a little tiny bit of kind of like contouring, nothing too crazy. And I'm using cream products like I mentioned because I definitely kind of want to bring a little bit of warmth back in. I've never been a fan of like one-dimensionalness. So I'm just gonna use a little bit of it. And also, like I mentioned, right now I don't want to use like bronzer that's powder. And I would say if you do suffer from dryness or a skin irritation where you're really dry, I wouldn't recommend going in with a brush either to kind of blend out that contour. I would say just use your sponge so that you can gradually just blend it in. And then I'm doing the same thing for my nose. It doesn't have to be really intense. I'm not looking to look super snatched right now. I just kind of want to look put together. And the last thing we're gonna do is apply a lipstick. So right now I'm wearing some chapstick. I'm actually wearing the Glam Glow lip balm, which is my favorite. I kind of want to do a lipstick because I just haven't done anything. So I think I'm going to do a liquid lipstick. So I think I'm going to do this dark one just because I'm kind of feeling the darkness. And we're going to do it on top of our lip balm just because I don't want it to be so matte. So this is a lipstick. This is in the color Bittersweet, like I mentioned. So that is the finished look. I really hope that you guys enjoyed watching this. I kind of wanted to chat with you guys and go a little bit further from the last video. I felt like in that video I kind of more like share with you guys my story, the background of it and all that. And I think in this video I kind of wanted to share with you guys more so products that have been great on my skin lately and that have been on my skin and not necessarily irritated it. It's very hard to find products that are not going to irritate your skin when you're going through the rosacea process. So these are products that really work for me. I'm going to have them all listed down below in the description box. If you guys have any recommendations for future videos, please let me know. Don't think I'm going to stop doing foundation reviews. I have quite a few foundations that I'm planning on reviewing very soon. A lot of hot new stuff coming out. I do have also a May favorites plan because we're about to step into June. Like June is right upon us. So stay tuned for that video because I do have a lot of good favorites this month that I'm excited to share. So that is all for today. And if you guys enjoyed watching this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Lets me know to continue doing these videos. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, you need to go ahead and subscribe now. If you're subscribed to my channel, you're gonna be entered to my giveaway, which I'm gonna have linked up here so you can find out exactly how to enter. I wouldn't want you guys to miss that giveaway, especially if you're a fan of highlighters. Hint, hint. So that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and go, and I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon for a brand new video. Bye guys.